I'm back. I just had a little intermission. Here we are. Right. I never should have completed that distance in the time allowed, but I did. Yes, the scoreboard's still red. Mob 1, Goggins 0. But I left Utah with a precious gift. Unlike during 2018, when I was uncertain about so much, I knew exactly where I would be in 12 months' time. Do you know where I'd be? Right back fucking here! It would require a long year of hard training and a commitment to study my blueprint like a textbook. So fucking be it then! This motherfucker of a race has not seen the last or the best of me. Evolution number 6. Small minds and weak people kill big dreams. Engrave that in your fucking mind, okay? You might have clear goals and be working on yourself every day, but if you have the wrong folks around you, there's a good chance they could be sucking the life right out of you and making sure you go fucking nowhere. When I select my crew, I'm not looking for elite runners to pace me. I look for individuals with a foxhole mentality. Whatever a foxhole mentality means. Of the 4 men who joined Kish and me in Moab, only one had ever done an ultra before, and 2 others barely ran 20 miles a week, but I didn't choose them for their running ability. They all understood me. They appreciated my mindset, though how far was I willing to go? I was willing to go too fucking far. That's how far I was gonna go. And were ready to do whatever it took to get me there. My success in this race was their only priority. When I told them I was heading back out to finish the job, nobody was surprised, motherfuckers. They had been with me all day, knew I was feeling better, and most importantly, know who the fuck I am, okay? They expected me to try and finish. When I knocked on their doors at 4 in the morning, they were damn near packed for the trail already, with a look on their faces that said, "What the fuck took you so damn fucking long?" In military language, the foxhole is a fighting position. In life, it's your inner circle. These are people you surround yourself with. They know your history and are aware of your future goals and past limitations. But because it's a fighting position, a foxhole can just as easily become your fucking grave. Therefore, it's crucial that you be careful about who you invite into that foxhole, eh? Whenever you're at war, competing in a game, or striving in life, you never want someone in your foxhole who lacks faith or will to try to steer you away from your full potential by giving you permission to pack it in or wave the white flag when shit looks bleak. You want the husband or wife who, when you snooze that alarm on a freezing midwinter fucking morning before dawn, shakes you the fuck awake so you don't miss your training run, okay? It's punishment by death in my world. When you're dieting and whine about being bored of eating the same bland food every day, they remind you of all the progress you have made, of all the hard work you have put in, and happily eat the same bland foods alongside you. When you say you're tired from all the late night studying, they stay up late with you to help you study, 'cause sleep is not in my resume. Okay? You want the type of race crew who, when you're suffering on the trail, are inspired by the bearing witness to your struggle. They know it's proof of your effort. In turn, Their refusal to give up on you can only inspire you to tap the reserves you've forgotten were there and give more and more. They know the only time to shut down and walk away is after all their motherfucking options have been exhausted. Even if that means yet another sleepless night or a last-minute change of schedule. When those are the motherfuckers in your foxhole, how can you not stay in the fucking fight, eh? Most people don't have a selection process for their foxhole. They invite all the old cronies and all the close relatives in by default. As if growing up with someone is the top qualification for foxhole membership. Old friends are great, and shared history is to be respected, okay? Respected. But not every person who has been in your life a long time is looking out for you or your best bloody interest, let me tell you. Some of them are threatened by your growth because how it impacts them. They get a little bit of jealousy going on. Oh. Some are looking for a friend to keep them company in their half-ass, stupid, pathetic fucking lives. In order to populate your foxhole with the right people, you must first know who you are as an individual, okay? That means shaking off old belief systems, creating concepts of the world and your place in the motherfucking world that no longer serve you and the habits and lifestyle that you've outgrown. Any ideas or interests that were impressed upon you by others, whether they be your family, peers, culture, must be examined consciously so you can see through all of them and discover your own unique individuality. Yes, I am preaching this motherfucker. For most people, this is a slow, organic process. Just trust the process, okay? And that can take fucking years. If it happens, even at all, which most likely it fucking won't ever happen. But if you bring intentionality to it, individualization can be accelerated. Once you find out who the fuck you are, the world will start delivering you your care packages filled with opportunities that will fuel your quest. In addition to power eating and spraying cockroaches, I did a lot of searching after I left the Air Force at 24 years old. Yes, I was in the Air Force at 24 years old. No, it's not on the internet anywhere, but still. Looking for my place in the world and tried on different personas and subcultures. I explored becoming a wrestler. A fucking wrestler, eh? I got into powerlifting and thought about competing in that sport. You mean the real wrestling, or the premeditated wrestling? I don't know which one I mean by that. But those were honest choices. I didn't burn with a desire to wrestle or lift heavy on stage. All I knew is I didn't want to be me anymore. I wanted to be the hardest motherfucker to ever live on this fucking planet. The problem was, I didn't know what the fuck that looked like. It was terrifying to admit that to anyone, including myself, because at the time, I was out of shape, working a low-wage job, and living well beyond my fucking means. How the fuck do you go from that to a hard motherfucker, eh? I had no fucking clue, and wondered if I was delusional. Who the fuck gave me the right to have such an audacious dream? Even I thought I sounded ridiculous, but as absurd as it may have seemed, I didn't let go of the dream. I let it linger in the back of my brain. Then one day a care package arrived from the farm of the Navy SEAL documentary, and there it was. I finally found a place to start that might just lead to the hard motherfucker territory. My dream no longer felt delusional. It felt possible. My evolution had begun, but as my Navy SEAL future crystallized over the next several months, I learned that when you change, Not everyone in your life will be on board. You will get some serious resistance, and it will be a pain in your fucking ass. Everywhere I turned, I found family members, friends, and co-workers, resistant to my evolution because they love the Ecolab spraying, chocolate slurping, fat fucking fairies. At 300 pounds, that's what I was, 300 fucking pounds. I made them feel much better about themselves, which is another way of saying they were holding me back. Years later, I learned how common that kind of thing is. Most of the men I recruited into the SEALs confided with their wives, girlfriends, or parents were dead set against something they wanted more than anything in the world. That can be extremely fucking stressful. Well, when you are striving to be you, especially when it involves pushing your limits of pain and suffering or sacrificing life and limb, you do not need to deal with trying to make everybody happy at the same time. When you are conflicted like that, your internal dialogue becomes counter-bloody-fucking productive. God damn you! And when those moments of truth arrives, and the quitting mind gets louder and louder, that inner conflict might be the very thing that convinces you to give up. But don't! Do never give up! Not in front of me, because I'll kill you. I'll kill you. When I first made the decision to try to become a Navy SEAL, the only person in my foxhole was my mummy. She knew what it entailed, and I was immediately on board. I didn't see any fear in her eyes. While she was worried about me, she believed in what I was doing even more, and that allowed me to train and fight with a clear head and maximum mental focus. Years later, when I ran bad water, she was in my crew. I walked 100 of those 135 miles. And when the horse slides were all bloody over me, them little irritating motherfuckers, and when I was suffering in the bloody hot scorching fucking heat, she got out of the support vehicle sobbing. Not because I was in pain, but because she was proud of me. But because she was proud of me, because I was pushing through it all like a fucking warrior. Not all my friends and loved ones react that way when you change and become committed to perpetual growth. Some are generally offended, and you don't need or want their voices in your fucking head. Which is a nice way of saying you may be required to shit-can some motherfuckers out of your life along the way. Who you hang around and speak to on a daily basis matters, okay? That's why it's not a successful formula for people in the drug and alcohol recovery to continue to hang out with the people they used to get fucked up with if you want to stay sober. When you evolve, your inner circle must evolve with you. Otherwise, you may subconsciously halt your own growth to avoid outpacing and losing contact with the people who mean a lot to you, but not be able to hang out with you anymore. When there is nobody, absolutely nobody around you who believes in or understands your quest, you must turn your foxhole into a one-man fucking fighting position. That's okay. It's always better to fight alone until you can find people strong enough to fight the good fight with you. There is no time to wait trying to pull dead weight up a hill. I've fucking been there many fucking times, let me tell you. And you must hold out until them reinforcements arrive, even if it fucking takes years. Loneliness can be difficult and depleting, but I'd much rather you stay lonely than claw your fucking foxhole and trek back through known territory in the hands of the very people who love the old fucking you, who were never comfortable with your transformation. Fuck all of them. Suck my dick and die. Does this mean you have to end all relationships or burn all bridges? Yes, it does. You've got to be on your own and fuck every single body off. Be a loner for the rest of your life if you have to. If that means you have to be alone the rest of your life so you can run 500 miles in one day eventually, then that's how it is. But then again, does it mean you have to burn all bridges, really? No, not necessarily. But doubters must be kept at arm's length. And anyone in your inner circle must accept you for who you are or who you want to become. This may require an adjustment period that is understandable, but within a reasonable amount of time. The men and women in your foxhole must, in their words and actions, give you permission to be you. In 2018, right before I received my VFW award, I realized how much I couldn't stand being fucking retired. I spent hours calling my old friends and new contacts in the military, looking for a way back in. I considered re-enlisting in the pararescue, but remembering how much I loved Ranger School and Delta Section, I thought the Army might be a better fit. So I dropped the word that I was interested in enlisting as a 44-year-old old fucking grunt. It didn't take long for a recruiter to reach out. He was convinced he could make it happen. But it meant moving to some of the backwoods army base for the training. Kish was not thrilled. She worked hard and kicked ass in the corporate world for 20 years, and she did not expect to be living or be around an army base at that point in her life. She damn sure didn't expect me to turn down dozens of lucrative speaking gigs to prepare me for the first stint in the military. By then, I was already earning more money for an hour or two of public speaking than I'd ever earned in a year as a damn grunt. You know what a grunt means? Well, I don't know, but I just said the word. I found myself walking on fucking eggshells, and they fucking hurt when they get you. Wondering if the woman that I loved would want to stay with me. At the same time, I knew living someone else's idea of my life is a recipe for misery. In the end, for a number of reasons, I didn't re-enlist. And now I think about it, I feel guilty every day that I am a pussy for not going back into the military. I fucking beat myself up every day for it. You don't know how much it fucking hurts me. I can't sleep at night because of it. I procrastinate for 10 hours a day. Just look at the wall. Can't deal with it. But, saying that, I got into wildland firefighting instead. Which is a lot more fun because I love to just burn shit the fuck down. My mission hadn't changed. It just became more deranged. I was, and still am, trying to become the most hardest motherfucker ever to live. That's not an ego trip. Well, maybe it is, but I don't give a shit. It's a way of life. It may be far-fetched and even unachievable, but I remain in service of that vision, okay? Fast forward a few years, and Kish is the most definitely foxhole qualified. She's certified, 'cause she testified. Now she is the one who blocks off the fire season entirely and turns down every speaking inquiry that comes in for those months without even asking me, because she understands exactly who I am and what I'm the fucking about. She knows what my priorities are and fully supports them without question. She admires the time fulfilled by doing those things that most people shy away from, and that a lot of money and fame make you sell the fuck out, but it does absolutely fuck all for me. I don't give a fuck about the money or the fame. All it does is money and fame is leave me feeling emptier than a motherfucker. She wants me to find my very best self. I'm wired the same way. When Kiss confided in me that she wanted to run a sub of 3:25 marathon, I helped her train and strategize, and she accomplished her goal with a time of 3 minutes and 21 seconds in Philadelphia. When she mentioned possibly applying to law school, she received a package of LSAT, whatever the fuck that means, books at the door the very next day. Now, to the listener, I've just got to say this to you. Don't ever tell me you want to run a marathon, because I will sign you up for the fucking race. If you say online or anywhere that you want to run a marathon, I'm going to track you down and I'm going to drag you to the fucking race. That's what I'm going to do. But, I'll give you advice, okay? Monitor your daily training and run that shit with you. If you tell me you want to be a doctor, I'll be the motherfucker who enrolled you in med school while you're fucking sleeping, you cunt. And you'll wake up to a class first thing in the morning. Most people can't handle that level of intensity, but that's the kind of backing I want. The type that comes with expectation of effort and demands hours, weeks, and even years of blood, sweat, and tears, and hard fucking work. Because that is exactly what it takes to feel lovely, ambitious, and more important than that, find out what you're truly fucking capable of. Who's in your foxhole? Tag them and tell them why! Right, that's the end of the audio book. No, it's not the end. I might come back to it one day. Yes, so that is the end of the audio book. It is, obviously, it is me, but not me, if you understand what I'm saying. If anyone knows this particular person who wrote this book, you really know, you kind of know who he is, if you know him, you know. It's not Wim Hof, okay? But it's someone very like Wim Hof. But it's not Wim Hof, okay? Some people will be able to guess who it is, kind of. Because it was his second book. His first book was actually the best-selling book. But I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to give it away of who it is. And obviously I don't want copywriting, because at the end of the day, this is how the guy would talk in real life. This guy is one hard motherfucker. All I'm going to say is, just a hint who it might be. All I'm going to say, he had recently, in the past couple of months, had a feud with no other than Sean Strickland. You know, that crazy motherfucker who just wants to kill people every hour of the day. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. And I talked about UFC, didn't I? And I talked about wrestling. Yeah, you know. So I'm gonna leave now, because I think that I've said all I need to fucking say. Because I am not going to get into any politics or anything like that. And if I do have listeners to this show, if I do mention politics, then if someone will comment in the comment section, I don't read comments, but I'll get my little friend, to read them. If you say you have caught me talking about politics, then I will gladly, and I mean this truthfully, I do mean this from the bottom of my heart, I will send you £5 if I am caught talking about politics. That means that I have to be talking about politics for at least like fucking 5 minutes. You know, not just mention it. Like, not just mention, oh, Donald Trump is buying fucking Greenland. You know, it's just, you know. Not that. It needs to be like, if I go on a tangent kind of thing about it. Because that's what I do, you know. That's why I smoke weed, to be honest, because when I don't smoke weed, I'm thinking about politics, because that's whatever, is going on at the moment. Is just like political propaganda, man. It's fucking crazy, That's why I stay away from city centres and fucking, especially away from Manchester at the moment, Yeah, Manchester's a bit crazy at the moment, man. You got a lot of crackheads sleeping on doorways. Worse than 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago, right, Manchester used to be dangerous. Like Gunchester. Like, it was dangerous. Like, you had crews on each and every corner. I'm talking about the city centre. You didn't have police around, but you didn't have a lot of homeless people around. This is the point. When I last went to Manchester, I just kept seeing big tents and fucking people, I think, smoking spice. I mean, that's really nasty. That's why I would recommend anyone not to buy weed from people that you don't know. Because a lot of people in Manchester will be outside them shops offering you weed, man. And you never know, that might be spice. And that can permanently fuck you up. I'm being serious now, it can. And there's a lot of it in the UK at the moment. And this is not politics, this is just drugs. In every city, but Manchester, there is. You never buy weed from, this anyway, because back in the day in Manchester, you had these fucking scroats come up to you and say, yeah, I want to get a bit of weed for you. You smoke weed, yeah? Yeah, you smoke weed, yeah? They're like, yeah? As soon as you say yeah, it's like, alright, yeah, mate, fucking hell, man. I'll just go in the bookies now, my man's in the bookies, yeah? You got a fat 10 bag, yeah? Just pass me the 10 and I'll get the fucking, get the weed for you, yeah? Boom! He goes in the bookies, straight out the fucking back door. You ain't seeing that cunt again. So that's what it used to be like. Now, they're selling you fucking shit that'll poison you, so you're better off getting robbed, to be honest. But yeah, and all the marches. I'm not even going to say what marches, because I might get arrested and thrown in fucking jail for saying something that doesn't fucking go to the propaganda agenda of Keir Starmer and his fucking wankers in Oxford. Yeah. But everything's all good. I mean, better than last week, because I did an Sfs4 podcast last week, but I was so bloody angry. I thought, nah, I'm not putting this out, man. I don't want to put bad energy out there. He wants to put bad energy out there. I don't want to be part of the problem, because it's a big problem, is, social media and all that shit. I don't have an account on Facebook. I don't have an account on X. I don't have an account on Instagram. But I do go on Instagram to look at some Venezuela mamacitas. But that's it. Call me a pervert, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. And, stay away from that, what's that website? Fucking hell, that fucked me over. OnlyFans. Oh, bloody hell. You need to stay away from that fucker. You sinned. How could you? Oh, God. Do you know if you watch porn on the internet, it's free. It's all the porn you want in the fucking world with the finest fucking bitches. Or if you go another way, then whatever your preferences are. It doesn't matter. As long as it's not fucking old grannies or kids, then it doesn't really bother me. Oh, I hate the option of trans in it. That it's just fucking propaganda right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's alright to be. Okay, I'm going to stop myself now, because I will get cancelled, because we live in a fucking communist country, but it's run by capitalists, because like I said before, communism is disguised as capitalism. Really need to know that. Anyway, yeah, I can't go any longer because I'll end up owing someone £5. I don't want to do that. Anyway, hopefully there'll be an episode with the boy this weekend. I right now are going to go and walk my dog for about an hour, and then because it's Easter week, I'm gonna get high tonight. Even though it's a Wednesday night, I feel like getting high tonight. So I feel like I've deserved it.
So I'm going to smoke a bit of weed tonight. Watch Raising Kanan. It's a fucking great show. 50's, I don't know, it's just 50 run the Stars Network. 50 Cent. Does he, I don't know if he actually owns the offshoot of Prime. You get like subscription for like Paramount and, Stars and, yeah, but all that season, I don't like the Power one. With the kid. What is he called again? Tariq. Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of that, to be honest. But I am of Raising Kanan because it's like fucking early 90s setting. I love the early 90s. Like, because that was when rap was fucking at its best and, the Kanan's kind of similar to 50 Cent, the way he came up kind of thing. But I love Raising Kanan, especially the last season. What Russo would call swerves, bro. They were proper swerves. Very creative. Like you say, oh, this is very creative in wrestling, but come on now. I mean, really, who are people that are really creative? People like Stephen King and Ian Fleming. And me, because I'm coming out with the biggest motherfucking book you're ever going to read in your life. I'm up to the last chapter, and that's space. And yeah, it's kind of difficult actually to be a bit serious now. It is quite difficult because I need to get this last chapter done. I feel like this podcast might be taking up a bit of my time, to be honest. And I've got a lot of things to do. I like to get my exercise in every day, and then write some of my book. Obviously, I've got to take the dog out, and obviously, I've got to do all the chores around my house. And all that crap, yeah, time is your enemy, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to have a different outro because, yeah. So all I'm going to say is, I've got to fuck off. Not to you, not fuck off to you, but I've got to fuck off.